let's talk about how a DACA recipient can travel outside of the U.S. to visit family, for a work conference, for an educational thing, and be able to still come back to the U.S. because that's the key, right? Anyone can travel outside of the U.S. The question is, can you come back? Let's talk about it. So, a DACA recipient cannot travel outside of the U.S. without advance parole. So advance parole is basically permission from the government saying that you can leave the U.S. and we're going to give you permission to come back to the U.S. Without this permission, you're not able to just go in and out of the U.S. as you please. Even though you have DACA, even though you have status in the U.S., you're able to work, you're able to live freely in the U.S., you're not able to travel outside of the U.S. and be able to freely come back in. So, if you want to come back in, you must apply for advance parole. Please, I'm begging you, do not travel outside of the U.S. without first having advance parole. Trying to get advance parole from outside of the U.S., trying to get any parole from outside of the U.S. is difficult. So, let's talk about how you actually get advance parole as a DACA recipient. Because here's the thing, as a DACA recipient, it is hard to get parole, right? You have more requirements than most people. So if someone that is applying based on marriage, applying for a green card based on marriage, and wants to apply for advance parole, all they have to do is just say, I want advance parole, and that's it. They don't have to say why they want advance parole. They don't have to say where they're going to with their advance parole. They don't have to do any of that. But you, as a DACA recipient, not only do you need to give where you're going, you need to give a reason why you're going there, backed up with documentation. So let's talk about the 3 ways that you can get advance parole. Number 1 is humanitarian reason. So let's say you have family outside of the U.S., parents, grandparents that are sick, and you want to see them before it's too late. That is a reason that you can apply for DACA advance parole. When you're applying under this reason, you need to present documentation of the parent or grandparent's medical condition, right? You have to show that they are actually sick, that they actually are, close to death, basically, right? If that's the case, then you need to have documentation to prove that. Another reason that you can get advance parole is employment. So let's say you're working for a company, there is a major business deal that needs to happen with a company outside of the US, and you are the one that needs to go and make that deal happen. You can apply for advance parole. Let's say your company wants to send you to a conference and you are the person in the company that is well suited to go to the conference. You can apply for advance parole. You need to provide proof, right, from the company that they want to send you to this conference, why you specifically, and the dates of the conference, the dates of the meetings, all of those things, right? The 3rd one is education. Let's say you are in a program that has an international seminar component that you have to go abroad for. You need to present documentation of that and show that it is required for the program, and then you're able to do that. All right. So those are the 3 ways that you can request advance parole. How do you actually do it? The form that you need to apply for advance parole is the form I-131. Okay. I-131. This is on the USCIS website. You need to make sure that you fill out all the required information, especially, like I said, for DACA, there is specific sections just for you. Okay, on the application, there's specific sections that every single DACA recipient that wants to apply for advance parole must fill out. Let's say you know that you have a course, next semester, and it has an international seminar component that you have to travel to. You need to start now applying for the advance parole, because it does take time. It's not a quick 1 month process. So you want to make sure that you are applying for these well in advance of when you're going to need to travel. Okay. Also, if you are, in a position where it's an emergency, like, you just found out that a parent is sick and they are really, really sick and you don't have months to wait, you can apply for something called emergency advance parole. And you need to, again, fill out the form, but also request an appointment at your local field office, USCIS office, and request the emergency advance parole. The officer will review and make a decision right then and there. Okay, if they approve it, you're able to travel. They'll give you the parole document and you're able to travel. Keep in mind, when they give you the parole document, you need to look at the dates, right? When can you travel? How long can you stay? Because it has an expiration date. Do not stay out of the US past the expiration date. Okay, if the expiration date is December 1st, you need to be in the US by November 30th. Listen, I will even say November 28th, because you don't want to take the chances, okay, of having a layover and things happen. So you want to give yourself some room to make sure that you do not go over that time frame, because if you do, now you don't have a valid advance parole to come back into the US. So it's really, really important that you are not only looking at, when you're going, but when you have to be back by. And those are the ways that a DACA recipient can travel outside of the US. Remember, you need the advance parole. Without advance parole, do not leave the US, because it's going to be very difficult for you to come back in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.